So I talk about, obviously, smartphones and, look, I don't like smartphones, just to be honest, not for teenagers. I really don't, but especially for young teens, for all kinds of reasons, the porn. And also these kids are much more sophisticated at using them than we are. I mean, the idea that you've blocked your phone, I don't know, I have kids, and their level of sophistication with these devices and getting around them, there isn't a device they haven't hacked, including the school devices that are supposedly come with all these blockers and whatnot. So you kids are very sophisticated getting around those things. But also, look, violent porn is not something you want your 8-year-old seeing, your 11-year-old seeing. You don't really want your young daughter seeing a woman choked within an inch of her life and thinking that's what sex involves. That's not a healthy thing to grow up with. But more than that, and I think that in some sense, the root of this problem is that American parents allowed a vacuum to occur. We allowed a vacuum because we didn't exercise our own authority with our kids. We didn't make sure that they knew our values. And in that space, we let other adults come in and basically said, well, if you're not going to pass on your values, I'm going to pass on mine. And they did it successfully. We had so many adults come in and indoctrinate our children. And American parents who are affable, amiable, they want to get along, they tend to be moderate in all kinds of ways, they weren't prepared for this assault on their families. But it came through every avenue, from public school to social media and the internet, through even television programs or movies made for kids. So and these activists were ready to supply their values, and they did successfully. They taught kids that they might be boys trapped in girls' bodies or girls trapped in boys' bodies. And I think what surprised parents was the degree they were willing to go and the lengths they were willing to go to indoctrinate other people's children. If you're a good person, it's very hard to envision that someone would actually do that with your children. I mean, there are so few things that I feel comfortable preaching about to another person's child. I wouldn't imagine doing that. Even when it comes to what's appropriate clothing, I wouldn't do it because it's someone else's child and it's not my business. But that wasn't the feeling of a whole generation of teachers, unfortunately, counselors in schools, therapists. They thought just the opposite. And that we're seeing the results of that.